Fentanyl continues to be a huge problem in North Carolina. More than 3,000 people died from using the drug in 2021. We explained in our latest documentary, Crisis Next Door, many of the people who died from illicit fentanyl don't know they're taking it. But as WRAL investigative documentary reporter Kristen Severance explains, others do and become addicted to fentanyl.
At baseline, I didn't think that stopping was possible.
Alex, who didn't want us to use his last name, never thought he'd be sitting here in Raleigh doing an interview about life in recovery.
I told myself on multiple occasions I will use drugs, specifically opiates, specifically fentanyl, for the rest of my life.
We explained in our latest WRAL documentary, Crisis Next Door, many of the people who die from illicit fentanyl don't know they're taking it.
We're talking about just a chemical drug that is 50 times more potent than heroin.
Some people, like Alex, try fentanyl when it's cut with other drugs and then become addicted to it. For Alex, it started about 8 years ago. He lost jobs, was kicked out of rehabs, lost his family. His rock bottom was when he was driving to pick up fentanyl from a drug dealer and got into a car wreck.
Totaled my car, totaled the other person's car is completely totaled as well. But my first instinct was not to call 911. It wasn't to check on the person that had hit me. It was to call my drug dealer to make sure that they could get to me before the cops showed up. My mom's just crying and my wife is saying, you can get in the car and go to this place that we've found, or you're on your own.
That place was Healing Transitions in Raleigh. The facility offers help through a long-term recovery program, non-medical detox, and overnight emergency shelter. It's free, and you can go as many times as it takes. All of the people who work there are also in recovery, and so is Alex, for 17 months now. What gives you hope?
So what gives me hope is the fact that I've seen it happen, not just in me, but that I've seen it with the guys that I also went through this program with. Multiple people that I call my friends today are also living sober lives.
People working in recovery say these stories need to be told.
The only thing that's more powerful than fear is hope. So there is a lot of hope that because we have some very good treatments available for opioid use disorder.
And there are more people living a life of recovery in America than there are an active addiction. And so that gives me real hope.
Alex has reconnected with his family and his wife.
I used to think that, being sober and not using it was unfathomable, but what's unfathomable is the type of life that I have today. I thoroughly wake up and I'm happy.
I'm WRAL investigative documentary reporter Kristen Severance.
Hope, so important to people fighting addiction and the families around them. The fentanyl epidemic, of course, in North Carolina is the topic of this week's On the Record. WRAL investigative documentary reporter Kristen Severance continues her coverage of the crisis across our state. She's speaking with people who have loved ones who have been addicted to the drug and spotlighting the one community fentanyl is hitting the hardest. Watch On the Record tomorrow at 7 on WRAL or on our website or streaming platform.